Okay. Good morning, everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Bruchim Habayim. We're continuing in Mishna Berura Daf Hashavua. We're up to Siman Nun Gimel Sif Yotes. Siman Nun Gimel Sif Yotes. Let's read the Mechaber again. The Mechaber says, Yesh moinim ger meliyah shel tzibur v'nidchu devreim. Some prevent a ger from being a shel tzibur, and their words are pushed off. Afilu yachid yachal la'akev v'loymar any rights he shall pleni chazzan. Even one individual can be ma'akev and say he doesn't want pleni to be a chazzan. Im loy shekvar hiskim alav mitchila, unless he already agreed with him from the beginning. The Mishna Berura explained, meaning unless he already consented to hire him in the first place, he's allowed to be ma'akev. The Mishna Berura explained that since tefillah is b'makom tamidim, and all Jews have a chelik in the tamidim, and nobody could be ma'akev someone else's carbon without his das, so every individual could be ma'akev. Okay, we're up to Mishna Berura Siv19 Nun Beis. That even a yachid could be ma'akev and say any rights. Says the Mishna Berura, v'davka sheyesh shliach tzibur acher sheyuchlu hakahal lahaskiroi b'damav. Davka, where there's another shliach tzibur, where the kahal could rent him out for value, meaning you could, for money, meaning an individual could only be ma'akev and say, no, I don't want pleni to be the chazzan. That's only if there's another shel tzibur that they could hire of him. Eino benimtza, there's no other shel tzibur, aishu benimtza, ela shabala hoysa bedamim. But if there's another shel tzibur, but he wants to charge more, the rest of the tzibur could say, look, we can't add to the fare. You want him, you got to pay. In other words, an individual could say, I don't want pleni to be the chazzan. So the rest of the tzibur says, really? But if we're going to hire the other guy, it's going to cost more money. So the guy says, well, it's like a carbon tamid, I don't want him. So they could say, fine, but then you have to pay. Even if the second guy is better than the first. Keneged toisef hadamim. It relative to the added value. Nevertheless, the call could say, Ein biyadeinu lahaisif, ela hu yosef mishalai. I'm sorry. We don't have the ability to pay extra. Okay. Now, Sivkata Nun Gimel, he doesn't want pleni to be chazzan. Not only could be moicha in the chazzan, he could also be moicha in any position. Afilu b'chacha marbetz Torah. Even the rabbi. So in other words, let's say in the shul, there are 500 people. One guy could say, I don't want this rabbi. Why not? He doesn't say good jokes. So that's an issue, because then how would you ever be able to hire anybody? The answer is v'davka shroitz l'kabalacha. That's only if he wants to accept someone else. Let's say he says, I don't hold the rabbis. I don't do rabbis. Even the miyud could force the rive. Even if he wants to have a different rav, he wants someone else to be appointed. If the one that the majority of the kahal is maskim to is better, he can't protest. It could be if there's a better candidate, even the miyud could force the roiv to hire the better candidate. So this makes it seemingly remote, how would you ever be able to hire a rabbi to a kehila where there's the control of the tzibur is run by the people? Because there's definitely going to be one guy who says, I don't want this rabbi, I want a different rabbi. So they said, what do you mean? The Mishna Berura says that we could force you if this candidate is better. He says, not true, my candidate is better. It sounds like if you legitimately have a better candidate, so they'll say, well, he costs more money, so you pay for it. It's interesting, the Mishna Berura doesn't say that factor only by a chazzan, he doesn't say that by a rabbi. But look what his qualification is here. Kasu achroinim shezeh adin the Shulchan Aruch hu dafka b'yimeim. This din of the Shulchan Aruch was only in their days. Aval hayoim, nowadays sheyadua shabam nasino rabim, that it's known that there are many sins. Harbe machzikin b'machloikis b'li tam v'reach. Many just want to pick a good fight without any reason. Their kavan is not for the sake of heaven. If they would never find any, they would never be able to fill any position. Therefore, you follow the majority of taxpayers, or the majority of members, those who pay membership. Even if, let's say, out of the 100 people in the shul, 90 of them are brothers. So you say, come on, what kind of vote is that? Of course, yeah, they're voting in their uncle, shkayach. Doesn't matter. You follow the majority. Nowadays, the minhag is you follow the 7 toivei ha'ir, or the 7 appointees from the kol makam u'makam lefim and hagai, each and every place according to its minhag. V'hakol shelo yarbu hamachloikis. This is also that you do not increase machloikis. Ve'ein mashgichan ala yachid. We don't pay attention to one in the lone dissenter. V'amagin avram kasav oitam. So the first reason why nowadays one guy can't be moicha is because nowadays we don't assume that this guy has a good kavana. It's just l'shem machloikes. So basically, you got to follow the roiv, or you got to follow, let's say, a search committee or a committee that's appointed to for a certain appointment. Magen Avraham brings another reason why nowadays it's not shaykh the din of a yachid being ma'akev shliach tzibor. The dafka bizmaneim shaya shliach tzibor moitzi rabim yidei chayvasam betfilasai az haya yachid yachal akev. Back in the day where the chazan was moitzi people, so it's like a carbon where it's being brought on everyone's behalf. They nasa shluchay bal karchay. He can't be a shlich against his will. Mashe'en kein ata. But nowadays, shekulam bekiyan, where everyone is proficient, and someone who's a baki is not even yotzei b'diavad b'chazar sashatz. Rak hashliach tzibur lepiyutim. The purpose of shliach tzibur is for piyutim. So what about a shul that doesn't say piyutim? The purpose of a chazan is to pick the right kalbach nigan for kel adain and for kedusha. That's the purpose of the chazan. He's basically a living jukebox. You know, that's what a chazan is nowadays. He has to pick the right song for the right time. You know, let's say this Shabbos, if you're a good chazan, so you sing, you know, a Yerushalayim song, an Eshkachech song. You know, you have to know the right time. You pick the right, you know, nigan that's relevant to the times. What do you mean? There are things that he says that are devarim shabekdusha, but the answer is that ein kol kach kapeda. It's not such a big kapeda. Why? He doesn't say. Because the truth is, he's not being moitzi anyone in kedusha baruch hu. He's just leading the davar shabekdusha. Let's see the Rama. Haga v'davka sheyia lo'isa yachid tam hagan al pi tavei ha'ir. See, the reason the Mishna Berura says why it doesn't apply, the Rama immediately mentions that the guy has to have a good reason, and it has to be investigated by the leaders of the community. Otherwise, he can't be moicha against the shliach tzibur, just because he doesn't like a guy. Let's see one more Mishna Berura. Mitchila. unless the Mechaber says even one person can be moicha against the appointment of a shatz, but that's if the person wasn't appointed yet. V'im kiblu lezman. Let's say they gave him a trial period. V'nishlam hazman, and the period is over. Loy mikri hiskim alav mitchil. That's not called being maskim to him. The achshav have a kabal chadash. When the time is up, it's like a new kabalach ilah shamaday. It's like they never had him. V'ayin mashikasav nebesayv sivkatan akoydim. Ruvain shayu shel tzibor. Ruvain, who's a shliach tzibor, schir shana, for a year. V'hishlam shana, say the year was complete. V'hischal espalo yomim mismar me'ashana chadash, and he started to daven a couple days in the new year. U'miktsas hanasha michubai. Some people protested, but amram shikfar nishlam hashana, because they said, look, the year is up. Shehiskiruhu, that we hired him for. V'sheinam roitzam oisam oid, and we don't want him anymore. V'ashel tzibor ta'an, shel tzibor tainos, sheme'achas shikfar hischal espal be'yom na'roim, that since he already stabbed for the Amad Slichais and Rosh Hashanah, Shehimei Hashanah Chadash V'lo Yimiyanu, but you didn't protest. You're waking up now in year 2, Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan, Sheliyaisai Schir Shana. He's basically hired for the year. Miktsasa Kukula. Part of a year is like a whole year. V'sheyifrulai Masham. You should give him. He tainas. He wants full payment for the year. Pasuk b'chus mahar mem tzadi. Da'adinim asher tzibor. The din is with the shatz. Ayin leket akemach yedal raman aleph. So if someone is hired for the year, and the year was up and he began the new year, the halacha is that he could taina, look, I already started the year, you got to pay me in full for this upcoming year. Let's hold it over here. We'll pick it up tomorrow in Sivkatan Nun Hey, and I wish everybody a wonderful day.
Is it true